Imagine spending years getting a master's, a PhD, passing rigorous exams, and then you just find yourself living in absolute poverty. All while society keeps saying, that we live in a meritocracy. Welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah, it's a pretty harsh reality for a lot of people right now.
It really is. So today we're looking at a stack of academic texts detailing a framework by Dr. Pramod Ambatdasrao Pawar, which is known as the Pramod effect. Our mission for this deep dive is to figure out how this framework tries to tear down our broken systems.
Right, and then rebuild them around one single unifying truth.
Exactly. Using, of all things, math and satire to cure modern society's systemic crises. Okay, let's unpack this, because it all starts with this one highly unusual metaphysical equation. 1 minus 1 equals 0 equals 1.
Yeah, and before we can apply any of this to society, we really have to decode that math. So think of the first one as our current state. The -1 represents subtracting our ego and, all the systemic corruption.
Also, stripping all the bad stuff away?
Right, exactly. And when you strip all that away, you arrive at 0. But this isn't just an empty void. In this framework, zeroness is this unconditioned state of pure potential.
Okay, I follow you so far.
And from that neutral baseline, you reach the final equals 1, which is a resurgent, unified consciousness. It basically fixes that relativistic deconstruction stuff by centering society back on absolute truth.
I mean, is this essentially like wiping a virus-infected hard drive, the 1 minus 1 part, and then reaching a totally blank slate, the 0,
Yeah.
and finally installing a brand new unified operating system for the 1?
What's fascinating here is how perfectly that analogy works, because when you apply that new operating system to our politics, the texts call it monos pendulum discourses.
Mono's pendulum.
Yeah, so imagine political conflict as a pendulum. Historically, society is just trapped in this endless swing. One group dominates, the other revolts, and power just violently swings back and forth.
Which sounds a lot like Foucault's ideas on power rivalry.
Totally. But the monos pendulum takes that swinging pendulum and anchors it to a single, non-dual ethical center. It breaks that cycle.
Okay, that makes sense in theory. But how does abstract zeroness actually apply to real human suffering?
Well, that brings us back to that paradox you mentioned at the start. Pawar illustrates this in a play called From 0 to 1.
Right, the one with the protagonist, Dhruva.
Yes, Dhruva holds an MA, a PhD, net, and set qualifications. Yet he lives in absolute poverty. It completely exposes credential inflation.
But wait, I have to push back a little here. Doesn't society constantly teach us that getting advanced degrees basically guarantees upward mobility?
This raises an important question, actually, because the system is printing degrees that offer neither economic security nor dignity. And because of this disconnect, unemployed youth just become easy targets.
Like targets for politicians.
Exactly. Political elites use them as pawns for protests with empty promises, and when the state cracks down, the politicians vanish and the youth take the fall alone.
Oh, wow. So how does the formula physically fix that broken pipeline?
By applying that zero state to the economy. If we subtract the political bias and corruption, we can build a universal livelihood guarantee.
A depoliticized job allocation system, basically.
Great. Advanced qualifications would automatically connect to real opportunities based purely on merit and need.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
And, this disconnection isn't just socioeconomic. It extends to our relationship with the planet.
Totally. The texts dive into this with a satirical play called Pranyanki Mansan Varsabha.
Where animals literally hold a trial for humanity, right?
Yes. There's an owl judging humans for poisoning the very air and water we need. And a monkey mocking us for being obsessed with social media selfies.
It's just massive ecological hubris. So what does this all mean for resetting that relationship?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the texts say we've lost our collective moral wisdom, or évêque. To fix it, we have to subtract our hyperconsumption to hit that zero state of balance.
Right.
And then, to reach the final equals 1, we have to grant statutory legal personhood to ecosystems.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Like giving a river the same rights as a person?
Exactly. Giving forests and rivers the same legal protections as human entities.
That is a massive paradigm shift. And it perfectly leads into this really powerful final image from a mime play in the sources called Not Blind, but Lost People.
Oh, the one with the 5 blind individuals?
Yeah. They're stumbling around and a guide steps in. But instead of just leading them, he teaches them how to use their walking sticks collaboratively to test the ground.
Right, and then the guide steps aside.
Exactly. They have to finish the journey using their collective awareness. Which leaves you with something to really think about. In our hyper-connected world, are we just waiting for a leader to swoop in and save us? Or are we simply failing